Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel GMB SHOW. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The Chase won't be airing as usual one day next week as ITV has covered the quiz show's typical slot in its schedule with coverage of Donald Trump's inauguration as US President. Fans of The Chase may be surprised to discover that the show has been bumped from its usual slot next week. The ITV quiz show, hosted by Bradley Walsh, typically airs for an hour each weekday. Each episode sees a team of 4 contestants take on either Sean Wallace, the Dark Destroyer, Jenny Ryan, the Vixen, Dara Ennis, the Menace, Mark Labette, the Beast, Anne Hegarty, the Governess, or Paul Sinha, the Cinnamon. The Chase, however, won't be airing on Monday, January 20th evening like it usually does. Instead, during its usual time slot in the schedule, ITV viewers will be able to watch coverage of Donald Trump's inauguration as the US President. As reported by The Express, a 2-hour live special will be hosted by ITV news broadcaster Tom Bradby from Washington, D.C. that evening, as President-elect Trump is inaugurated for a second term. The former US President won Kamala Harris in the November elections and will succeed Joe Biden. Fans will know that The Chase typically airs from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on weekdays. However, the US inauguration will affect Monday's schedule. Deal or No Deal has also been affected by ITV's coverage of the event. Stephen Mulhern's show will start an hour early at 3 p.m. instead of its regular 4 p.m. start. There's been reaction to the schedule change on X, formerly known as Twitter, recently. One person wrote in a post, "The Chase won't be on Monday due the inauguration of the US President, #The Chase." Another said in a response to them, "And bumped Deal or No Deal to 3:00 p.m. At least a bit more notice this time around, unlike the sudden change in December." The Express reports that a third person said in a post, "The Chase is not coming on, fuming face emoji." However, fans can look forward to another episode of The Chase just a day later. The show is scheduled to return on Tuesday, January 21 from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Deal or No Deal will air in its usual slot of 4 to 5 p.m. that same day. The Chase first aired on ITV with its debut series back in 2009. Since then, there's been more than a dozen series over the years, and several spin-offs, including Beat the Chasers, which launched in 2020, have been introduced. As previously reported, an episode of The Chase that aired in September last year saw 2 contestants secure one of the show's largest wins. Contestants Karen and Ian won £100,000 on the ITV show after taking on the Cinnamon in a series of quiz rounds. It was a Wednesday afternoon when viewers settled down with their mugs of tea ready for their usual comforting dose of The Chase. Bradley Walsh's cheeky grin was meant to flash across screens at 5 p.m. sharp, but instead a scrolling message appeared. "We apologize for the disruption. The Chase will not air today due to a schedule shake-up." Across living rooms, remote controls were clutched with confusion. Twitter erupted. "Where's Bradley?" one user wrote, while another posted a gif of Sean Wallace looking disappointed. The cause was an unexpected ITV shake-up had swept through the schedule like a whirlwind. A breaking news announcement, coupled with extended coverage of a major sporting event, had caused the broadcaster to pull The Chase for the day. But the shake-up didn't stop there. Another beloved show, Tipping Point, also found itself yanked from its slot, leaving fans to wonder if it was the end of an era for their quiz favourites. Inside the studio, Bradley Walsh was as surprised as anyone. He was meant to be on set for a late promo, but found himself standing in the empty green room with a cup of coffee, staring at his phone as messages from friends and fans piled in. "Brad, are you okay? The country's gone mad without you today," one message read. Bradley chuckled, shaking his head. "Can't leave them alone for a day, can we?" he said to a nearby crew member, who was equally baffled by the decision. Meanwhile, Jenny Ryan, aka the Vixen, took to Instagram with a playful video of herself, dramatically acting out scenes of heartbreak. "When they cancel The Chase for a day and you've done your eyeliner for nothing," she captioned, earning thousands of laughing emojis within minutes. But while viewers fumed, ITV executives were quietly working on a reshuffle to ensure both The Chase and Tipping Point would return with minimal disruption. Behind the scenes, they were planning a special Chase weekend where the show would air in a double slot to make up for the missed episode. Bradley, hearing the plan, agreed instantly.
Let's give the viewers a proper quiz feast, then. Fans, upon hearing the news, quickly forgave the disruption. Memes flooded social media, showing the chasers breaking free from the schedule chains, ready to return and reclaim their spot in viewers' hearts. As Friday rolled around, viewers saw Bradley back on their screens, beaming, with a wink that said it all. "Missed us, didn't you?" The episode opened with a montage of the chasers' funniest moments, celebrating the return for a day's absence that had somehow felt much longer for loyal fans. In the end, what was meant to be a schedule shake-up became a reminder of how much the chase was loved by millions. Because no matter how chaotic life or the ITV schedule gets, there's always room for Bradley's grin, the thrill of the final chase, and that warm feeling of home every time the quiz music starts.